Once upon a time, a long time ago, a faithful servant named Daniel lived in the heavy, crowded city of Babylon. He was a man of great skill and wisdom, surrounded every day by people who clamored for power, chased after money, and looked to each other for validation. But Daniel recognized the shallow rhythm of the crowd. He knew that the promises of men fade away like smoke in the wind. Instead of spending his vital energy trying to please the rulers or match the pace of the worldly masses, he anchored his heart completely in the divine. 3 times a day, he turned his face away from the noise of the city, kept his mind still, and gave his highest devotion, his full focus, back to God. The local leaders and smooth-talking politicians grew deeply jealous of Daniel's peace and his clean execution. They wanted everyone to bend to their rules and value only what they valued, so they plotted a trick to force the whole kingdom to worship only the human king for 30 days. They thought they could pressure Daniel into dropping his frequency and joining their superficial game. But Daniel did not panic or change his ways just to fit in with what people thought was right. He treated their new laws simply as empty data, walked straight back to his room, opened his windows wide, and continued to give his energy exclusively to God, refusing to let the opinions of men dictate his internal law. The true test of Daniel's unshakable pillar arrived when the king discovered his prayer and was forced by the law to throw him into a deep, dark pit full of hungry lions. The heavy stone was rolled over the opening, locking him in with certain death, while the people outside assumed he was broken and finished. In the pitch black of the den, surrounded by the wild beasts, Daniel did not scream or lose his center. He knew that while people forget and fade, God never fades. He stood in absolute stillness, his breathing calm and steady, as a holy messenger came down to seal the mouths of the lions, turning a place of absolute terror into a quiet, spacious sanctuary of pure protection. At the first light of morning, the king rushed to the pit and cried out, shocked to find Daniel completely alive and untouched by the wild beasts. Daniel was lifted out of the dark ground with no scratches on his flesh, proving to the entire kingdom that his process was secure because his foundation was built on what is eternal, not what is temporary. The men who had tried to build their power on lies and human schemes faded away into chaos, while Daniel's influence stood firm for generations. His unyielding journey showed the world that when you refuse to waste your spirit on the empty validation of people and keep your main focus locked on the Creator, you will never be shaken and you will never be forgotten.